It
that
is.
a national athlete has had to go on radio to cry for help in this situation.
It is, and we have to stress the fact that this is an extraordinary circumstance. It's not as if it was someone's job to provide a scholarship in the field or to provide money. What they have failed, and when I say they, I'm talking here about the NSA, the Sports Ministry, the GOC, the Ghana Athletics, is the responsiveness or the lack of it to when the initial calls were made. Because I'm aware, we know that he has been in touch with the people he has to contact. Unfortunately, after about 2 months, there's been no proper response. And that is why he had to take this action of granting an interview. My hope is that the ministry, the NSA, they will be able to intervene to resolve this extraordinary situation. However, as you mentioned, it brings back or it throws the spotlights on the support system or the lack of it available to Ghanaian athletes, right? A few months ago, it was Deborah Akwa. Today, it is Cadman. And I guarantee you this is not going to be the last time. And that's why we need to have a support system in place for even the scholarship system because, and when we did that show on Friday, it opened a lot of people's mind to the fact that a lot of these athletes who excel for us are not on scholarships paid for by the country.
No.
So essentially, the state has no hand in the growth of these athletes because they are offered scholarships by universities in the West. The trainers are paid for by the universities. They are accommodated, they are fed, they are tutoring. Everything else is paid for by the schools. All we do is that when it's time when we need people to compete for us, we just call them, buy them plane tickets and say, come and compete for us. This is the reality of the Ghanaian athletes. And this is why it is very easy for any of them to switch allegiance to a different country. Last month, we saw the UK system, the support system that exists for its athletes, right? And this story is heartbreaking because if Cadman had been, say, a Nigerian or even a South African, he would have been in line for the support system that his peers in those countries have been receiving, right? Not just a scholarship, but he would have been eligible to the monthly allowances, the yearly allocations that the ministries in those countries make for their athletes. As we speak, Cadman is now a top 5 athlete in the world. On the continent, I beg your pardon. The first 3 are South Africans, Brian Ratz, Brayton Poole, Keegan Fury, all of them 2.25 meters they've cleared. They are South Africans. If you check, 2 of them are university students on scholarship. Brian Ratz is at the University of Pretoria on scholarship. Brayton Poole is at the University of Stellenbosch. He's 24. And then the 4th athlete, I skipped the 3rd, Keegan Fury, because he's 33 years of age. He's a bit old in the teeth. The 4th athlete is Best Ehiri, our brother in Nigeria. He's just 22 at the University of Texas Tech, and he's also on scholarship. Cadman finds himself in the category of athletes of the day. As we speak, Africa's best athletes are either on scholarships paid for by the countries they come from or by the universities. Unfortunately for us, there is nothing like that. And that's why it is important for us to institute a fund that we will then be clear in our mind how much is going into athletics, how much is going into football. We know where the revenue sources are. You've spoken extensively about the need to maintain the betting tax. That becomes, and you see, it is the industry practice. In the UK, last month, when they announced that multi-million-pound Olympic program, which is a state-sponsored program for the national athletes. So they have a ranking system, and based on that ranking system and where you fall, they determine who gets the state's money. Because over there, they know that they are not sitting on a bottomless pit of cash. The money they are using to fund athletics is from the UK lottery. So if you fall within a certain performance range, so for example, for the high jumpers, you need to clear a certain mark, say 1.9 or 2.0. Then we'll say that for our best 4 high jumpers, you are eligible to receive a certain amount.
From the state?
Yes. And then the state will determine that, okay, 35% of that amount will go into your training. An extra 35 will go into paying for your trainer. an extra 35% will go into paying for you to be entered into competitions. And then maybe for your own upkeep, you get about some 15% of it. There is that. At least there is a system in place. So, look, this is just an opportunity for us to have a broader conversation about the support systems that exist and the quality of it, because the last time, it was even a clearer issue because Deborah's was a matter of insurance and health. She got injured. We kept tossing her around because no one wanted to accept responsibility. And here's the thing. When we needed Deborah to come and compete for us, we showed her the full force of the state agencies for sports. GOC, GAA, Sports Authority, Sports Ministry, they all came together and decided, you, make that call, engage her. But when it was time for us to heal her, we all started shaking responsibility because we said, but you cry, you got injured, not on national duty.
Oh, I didn't make the promise.
I didn't make the promise. So no one wanted to take. And you see, fundamentally, it's not because these people are wicked, but it's because if they accept responsibility, where are they going to get the money from? There is no structure in place.
Source of
exactly.